Hey everyone, this is my second take on my sub-bass tutorial. This is Paperboy of Busyworks Beats. Show you some insider's tips using FL Studio and any other things. We're gonna get into it pretty deep. So this was a request, and they requested that we learn how to EQ sub-bass. So here are 4 different basses that we're going to be using. I can't talk but for this portion, but there will be a sine bass, a square bass, a low sub, and a high sub, like the song If I Die Today by Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. So I'll play some samples of those, then I'll get to talk again. Alright, so here are the samples. Alright, so you get the idea. That was a waste of time, but it was relevant to the tutorial. So, we got the Polo the Don type bass that you hear in If I Die Today. Now, the key elements of getting this bass, I know I'm talking fast, but I have to. Now, the key elements of this bass is that it has a higher low end than it does a low end. So basically, here's the philosophy and the science behind sound. Any human being can hear 20 hertz. That's the absolute lowest. Now, sub bass starts from 20 hertz. You'll see, I'll bring up a visualizer. 20 hertz up to about 100 hertz is sub bass, technically. I mean, whatever you consider sub bass can change, but that's the basis of it. Now, we're going to manipulate different frequencies to create different sounds. That's what sound is, frequency anyway. So, for the Polo the Don types 808 like this, it has more of a higher end bass to it than anything, which brings out the uniqueness of it. So I made 2 different EQs to show you guys how to do it. This is the actual EQ I want it to be on. But I'll just morph the other one for you guys to learn. So I'll start off fresh. Okay guys, so what you want to do is up your 2, use your 2 and use your scroll on your mouse to get it sharpened or not. But you want to sharpen it, okay? So I'm going to play a couple notes. Basically, you want to sharpen it around 100 hertz. See how it says 100 hertz? Zoom in if you can. Now, just because I upped it here, that means I have to take something down, because I'm not mastering. I'm making a sound more unique. So, since I took up the higher low end, I'm gonna take down the lower low end. I know that sounds kind of dumb, but that's what it is. So I'll take it down. I'll take the 1 down. I'll scroll, sharpen it, take the 1 down. I don't want sounds clashing, so I'll just, the unnecessary frequencies down low don't need to be there, so I'll cut those out. And bring the 7 down, scroll it just to take out the other sound that doesn't need to be there, other frequencies. Now I can make it sound way better, but just for time's sake, we'll just get to, that's the basics of it. Honestly, that's all you have to do is manipulate your Fruity Parametric EQ2. That's the key to everything. Now, I'll show you a trick in the other channel, but that's the trick for that sound. Now we're going to go to our other sub. That was the sub that you hear that's more melodic. You don't hear those subs. Those usually aren't the subs used for the subwoofer's purpose, which which sub bass was originally made for, which is the subwoofer, just to get that feel. Now, for bass sounds that you want to get the feel for, I've created a better envelope for filtering out the high end sounds, and I just want those frequencies, like I said, from 20 to 80. I don't want anything above 80. So I manipulated the points here, and I'll let you guys download it if need be. But basically all this sound can output is just frequencies from 20 to 80. So listen. Now that sound is basically all just feel. You don't really, you hear it, but it's all for the shake. Okay. So the trick between that is here it is without the limiter filter. Sorry. Now that sounds horrible. So we put the parametric EQs on here. So give it focus on the bass a little bit more. Now the trick to this is these filters are weak, so you have to empower the filters. So what we're gonna do is click the click down thing, go to save preset as, but you don't save it. Just hold your mouse and drag that save preset as over to a open slot on your FX rack, and then it'll recreate whatever you just made in your other EQ. Do that about 3 times, so in FL's mind it amplified your filter, so it takes out all the unnecessary frequencies. That's the secret to a lot of filtering that people don't know. They think if you filter 1 time on FL Studio you're fine, but in reality if you really want to knock out frequencies you got to do it about 4 or 5 times on FL Studio, about 3 times on FL Studio. That's how you get the real filtering going. Okay, so that's the other sub. These are different 808s, by the way. Okay, they don't sound, here are the raw sounds. That was the Polo the Don type sound, and this is the smoother one. So you get the idea. It's not all in your EQing, it's more what sounds you have. Now these I made out of 3x oscillators, which is really easy. I'm going to actually start talking really fast now because we only have 2 minutes left. So I hate to make long tutorials, but you guys need all the details. Okay, so we're going to head over to our square bass. This is also used. People don't understand that this is actually, that's actually used a lot with some good EQ. Now I'm going to get as much EQ in here as possible. We're going to use the techniques of scrolling on the mouse, getting that Q. It's called Q. When you sharpen it like this, it's called Q. We're going to get that Q correct, get our filters right, and we're going to knock out all the high frequencies, because pulse waves are known to have annoying high frequencies in them, as you've heard before. Now you see how, I don't know if you could see it, but when you zoom in you'll see like lighter purple up here. That shows that you really didn't knock out those frequencies you were trying to knock out. So let's use the technique again, save preset as, and move it over. Time is going super fast, by the way. Alright, so once you add about 3 filters, you absolutely knock out those high frequencies. Alright, so we did the same thing on there. We knocked out the frequencies from 80 to 100. I know I'm talking really fast, but I have to. Now, that got our sub square bass set. And it's on really. Now, I would have to go back and manipulate it for the higher notes, but the point is I got out those high, annoying, scratchy sounds on the square wave, pulse wave. Now onto the sine wave, the most basic wave. This is the easiest to use in FL without many effects. I'm running out of time here, but it's basically the same thing. So I'll leave it up to you guys to learn, teach yourself how to use the parametric EQ. I know it seems simple, but the fact that you have to triple it up is the real secret. It's not about how to maneuver the parametric EQ, so don't be fooled by these other people out here. I'll teach you guys some insider's tips on how to EQ drums, not just bass. That's easy, bass is easy, but EQing drums is the real secret. I'll tell you guys that next for a good tutorial. Thanks for being with me. My info should be in the description. Have a good day.